Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Can I Make It, a series where I try to recreate inventions from the past and relive human history. I'm trying a new intro style today, so let me know how it works. I want to make the best videos I can for you guys. Today we're going to be making fire from scratch again. I have an idea though this time, which might make it easier. It should save us a lot of work, as long as we can create it using the tools we have available. I'm only going to use things I can find in this forest behind me and things I've built in the previous episode, so let's get started. I began my fire drill making process by finding a cedar log that had been on the ground for a while. I started cutting it lengthwise, trying to get it to a point where I could start peeling off long strips of cedar bark. After a little bit, I had quite a few decent length strips of sapwood. I was going to use these to make some natural cordage. I headed over to the creek to soak them before I started twisting. I found a good spot to start and began. The technique was pretty simple. Twist the right strands a few times, and cross them over. I repeated this strategy over and over and eventually wound up with a decent piece of cordage. I soaked it in the creek again and we were good to go. Next I found some smaller cedar trees, debarked them, and started shaping them how I needed them to be with my stone flint pieces. After lots of splitting and whittling, it took forever with those flint rocks. I made every piece there was to make. Next came the arduous process of grinding my spindle down on my sanding rock to make it thin enough for the main bar to spin. I also sanded the end down to a point so I could easily keep it in place while I used the drill. Around this time was when I went to go check on my corn that I planted last episode. If you haven't seen it yet, guys, go check it out. It's pretty awesome. A few little sprouts were poking out. I counted 11, but there could have been more. I was super happy that a few of my corn seeds were actually growing. Once I was ready to begin working on the drill again, I grabbed 2 rocks and started adding the first of the 2 bars that would go across the spindle. I tied it on with some of the cordage I'd made and I was ready to go. I spun it around a bit to test it afterward and it worked pretty well. Now guys, before I move on to the next clip, I have to say, although it spun really well in the clip you just saw, it fell apart multiple times after being outside overnight and all the cordage lost its strength. It ended up pretty crooked and loose after a while. I was hoping it'd still work though, so I pushed through. Alright guys, so I went ahead and added the second piece. We still have the first one here, which is rigid, but this one spins. And this cord up here attaches it to the spindle. So when we spin, we'll be able to push down and it should hopefully spin. Now, it's not the best, there's quite a lot of friction, but I hope it'll work. Alrighty guys, here we are. I split another piece of wood to use as a fireboard, so let's go ahead and put this thing down here. And I'm not expecting this to work at all in the slightest, guys. It's not very sturdy, so let's hope for the best and get started. Hopefully, we can wind this thing up, and we push down, and it spins. Uh-oh, the vine broke. I'm gonna go, I think we can fix this. Alright guys, got it fixed. As I was saying, we wind this one up, just like this. Hopefully, we should now be able to push down and it should spin. Yes! that works, except the rock fell out and we got nowhere ever close to the speed we need. And it was supposed to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yep, just like that. And then let's try it again. We push down. So in a sense, it kind of works. And then we would have kept going, keep going. Oh great. Uh-oh, it's breaking more. But we would have. It's not even sticking. We would have kept going. Come on. We push down, and then that breaks. Uh-oh. Well, guys, it didn't work. But that's okay. Every failure comes with its learning opportunities. I learned that if we ever make this again, I'm going to need to have a stronger cord as the main support. I'm going to also have to try to drill holes rather than keep them on with just cordage. With like 2 pieces of split wood. And guys, that's okay. We weren't able to make fire this episode, but we'll do it again. That's half the fun. It really makes you respect how hard our ancestors had to work to get things. I mean, these days you can just strike a match or light a lighter and you'll be all set. And this channel isn't about always getting it right. Sometimes you have to fail a little, or every other episode. But that's what makes the successes feel a lot better. Fire is our first channel struggle, and I hope there will be a lot more. We'll someday get it though. With that, guys, I think I'm just about out of time for this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Please consider subscribing if you really liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Outro time, outro time. I feel like it's always the even number episodes that it's not a success. It's always the even numbers. I mean, we started with the language. That was... Or it's always the even numbers that's a failure. Yeah, we started with the language on an odd one. That was a success. We tried fire. That was a fail. Then we did the axe. Or no, we did... What did we do? I can't even remember. We made a basket. That was a success. Then an axe. Then that was a fail. Then we did the garden. And that was a success. And now this is a failure. Uh-oh. I think the next one's going to be a success at this rate.